Talen Horton-Tucker. Now, Talen Horton-Tucker is a interesting player. He obviously I know him best from his time at the Lakers, where he was drafted by the Lakers in the second round after the Lakers had acquired the second round pick from Orlando for cash considerations. And Talen Horton-Tucker plays. He's a guard. He's a combo guard, really. Um, Seen him fill in at the three at sometimes for the Lakers when LeBron may have been injured. Of course, won the NBA championship in 2020 with the Lakers. That was his rookie season. So obviously a great start to his career. But as of now, he's currently a free agent. And we're going to look at his numbers. We're going to get an idea of why we think he's a free agent and if a team would be interested in picking him up. What sort of thing is that team getting from him? So we know that Talen Horton-Tucker, he's 23, so still young. Of course, joins the league in 2019-2020 season. Of course, wins the NBA championship, but hardly plays as a rookie. He's not going to get much game time. Averaged, just under 6 points a game in 6 games. So really far too small of a sample size to really even get an idea what he is as a player. But just briefly looking at his numbers, he looked like he shot the ball not really even particularly efficiently in his first season, but gets those 6 points a game and only plays 6 games. But we're really going to see him start to pick up a bit more in his second season for the Lakers, where he played 65 games and he averaged 9 points per game, 3 assists, just under 3 rebounds a game. He's really not a good 3-point scorer. He shoots 28% from 3 in his second season. He's, to be honest, when you're a player like this, you're a bit part player. In the NBA today, you really need to be able to knock down your shots. Because if you can't provide any sort of even respectable floor spacing, you're going to struggle in any team you are in the NBA. Particularly the way the Lakers were at that time. I'm thinking of who we had in the squad. The Lakers, around that time, they would have had... I'm not sure if Russ was quite on the team yet, but say Russ, I don't think Russ was there. But LeBron, who's an okay 3-point shooter, AD, who's a bad 3-point shooter, Carmelo Anthony, who's an okay 3-point shooter. There really isn't an abundance of 3-point shooting in that squad. So in my opinion, if I'm Talen Horton-Tucker looking to get into that squad, I need to be someone who can knock down 3, someone that can get open and knock down a 3. If I want to get on the court and stay on the court, he couldn't really do that, and it wasn't from lack of game time. He was playing 20 minutes a game for 65 games that season, so plenty of opportunity, but only shot 28% from 3. The season after, he played 60 games and his 3-point percentage got even worse. And to be honest, to be a guard in the NBA, and it's not even like you're particularly big or particularly that good of a playmaker, because you're getting 3 rebounds, 3 assists, getting 10 points a game. You're playing 25 minutes a game as well and shooting 26% from 3. That's, to me, it is laughable. It's the sort of number where if I'm an opposition player, I see you on the perimeter, I'm probably not even going to step up. I'm just going to let you shoot it, because at 27%, if you take 4 shots, you're only going to make one of them. And if I'm an opposition player, I can live with that, because we're also seeing he only attempts 3 threes per game. So he's attempting 3 threes per game, and he's knocking down 1 in 4. So there'll be games where he shoots 3 shots, he doesn't even make a 3-point in a game. Look, but by that logic, so if it's me, and I see Talen Horton-Tucker across from me, I'm probably not even guarding him at the perimeter, to be honest. He then joins the Utah Jazz, and it's sort of more of the same. 10 points a game, which isn't bad. I say that. Being a player like him, who's averaging, for his career, averaged 21 points a game, and 10 points per game, 21 minutes per game, and just under 10 points per game. It's not awful. It's not an awful production, but his lack of 3-point shooting is what really will cost him. And to be honest, it's probably a big part of the reason why he's currently not got a team. You know, if you can't knock down the three in 2024 in the NBA, then what are we doing here? Really? Like, what are we actually doing here? But Talen Horton-Tucker started good at... Well, he didn't really start good at the Lakers. He started good in terms of a career. He started good in terms of a career, but... started good in terms of a career, winning the NBA championship, but... Now we're looking at a guy who's not got a team. For his career, he shoots less than 30% from three, and he's a guard. He's a 6'4" guard who's nothing special as an assister, nothing special as a playmaker, nothing special as a rebounder, and nothing special as a scorer. You're a very average player, and he's one of these players that when at the Lakers, AD would be injured a lot. LeBron every now and again would get injured. So he was sort of seen as that third guy, particularly at this point, towards the end of the time at his Lakers, that second and third season there. You had Carmelo Anthony, who was aging, of course. So in a lot of ways, Talen Horton-Tucker was looked at as that third man on offense, that third offensive option. So the nights when you would have, AD would regularly be injured, like I said, occasionally LeBron would be injured, you'd be looking to Talen Horton-Tucker, and occasionally he'd put up a big performance in terms of, putting some big points on the board. But you look at those points, like he gets, he might get loads of points. I don't know what his record is, 30, 40 points in a game. I think, like, well, what was the result for that game? We lost. So for me, it's sort of empty stats, because if you're a player dropping 40 points in a game and your team loses, for me that shows that your team's just bad. The fact that you're having to rely on someone like Talen Horton-Tucker to score 40 points per game, and he does that, and you can't even win the game, kind of shows me, that team wasn't amazing. And don't get me wrong, that team without LeBron and AD isn't an amazing team. Particularly after they won that championship and they let go a lot of those guys. They let go Dwight Howard, etc. And a lot of the nice role player pieces they had there. They broke up that championship core, Do you know what I mean? Like, you got Talen Horton-Tucker. There's really nothing special about him, so I'm not surprised he's struggling to get a contract. Let me have a look at his career high. Yeah, career high, 41 points. I guarantee the Lakers, if it was at the Lakers, I guarantee when he got that 41 points, the Lakers lost that game. I guarantee that. Let's look at his salary. What his salary was like his last season in Utah. Okay, yeah, he was on 11 million. And, the way the league is at the moment, where it's so competitive for literally every spot, I would struggle to see a team pay him $11 million a season and you can't shoot threes. Because you're not good enough to carry the offense. That's established. Everyone in the NBA knows that. He's not built like that. Not good enough to carry an offense. But it's not even like he can come off the bench of a sixth man and run an open play, get him in the corner, get him wide open, shoot a three. He can't even knock them down. And that's something we're going to look at with some of these other guys that are available in free agency. But Talen Horton-Tucker, for me, you need to do something great if you're going to get an NBA spot at the moment, I think. If you're a free agent, but like we say, there's three parts to the game. There's scoring, playmaking, defending. Talen Horton-Tucker does none of those great. So I'll be interested to see where he goes next. I imagine wherever he goes, it'll be a minimum contract. Any team that wants to pay this guy over $3 or $4 million a year, a penny over that is overpaying, in my opinion. But I'm sure some team will pick him up because, like I said, he's still a player that for his career he's averaged 10 points per game. Even though it's not on, in terms of efficiency, it's nothing amazing at all, really. But I'm sure there'll be a team that's willing to take a punt on him. But I'll be curious to know what you guys think. Where do you think Talen Horton-Tucker will end up? Do you think maybe he'll return to the Lakers? Do you think another team will want him? Be interested to know. Or do you think he'll play overseas? Let me know what you think.